This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful website and build your K-pop band. I mean online brand.
We could be free.
I love that we live in a world where there's a movie called K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's one of the best movies of the year.
That's all demons do. Feel our shame.
We believe that if someone knows this about me, they will reject me, not want me in their life. And the really hard part is sometimes that's true.
I'm gonna start getting really emotional. This was the story of me trying to deal with my addiction.
The more I hid the shame, the more it grew and grew until it started to destroy the one thing that gave me a purpose.
If you're so absorbed in your own shame, you start to think the worst about yourself and often project that onto everyone.
That's not how it works!
The only way that we liberate and free ourselves from that is by exploring the darkest corners, shining light on them, and saying, I'm going to choose to love this person.
Why couldn't you love me?
I do.
All of me!
This is part of her beauty. This is part of who she is, and that's what makes it beautiful.
The song we couldn't write. This is what it sounds like.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. I'm joined by...
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves the movies. What are we doing today?
Today, we're gonna have you react, as you often do, to a film, and the film is K-pop Demon Hunters. Yes. I am so excited about this.
Oh.
I love this movie.
Yeah, so do I. We rely on you to point us towards this stuff. We got so many comments saying, do K-pop people... We're like,
well,
what is
and we
this?
never opened the Netflix app. If we had, that's all we would have seen.
That's
It's just
true. Awesome flick.
super fun. Loved it. My kids have been listening to the music nonstop.
Mine
and
too.
I am not mad about it.
Celine, do hunters kill all demons?
Yes,
So everything that has patterns?
cover those up. You only have those because
My dad was a demon?
you're not one of them, Rumi. You're a hunter, just like your mother was. When the home moon is sealed, all the demons will be gone from this world, and so will your patterns.
So these will be gone?
Yes, those will be gone.
Conceal, don't feel. Don't let them know.
My goodness. Princess with a long braid, having to hide her feelings, and worried about her power.
Her power is shameful.
We've never seen this before.
It's threatening to others. You must conceal
Listen,
it.
it works.
Yep.
It works.
Nothing
I'm not
can
mad.
change until your patterns are gone.
So is Celine the villain of this movie?
If that's the case, like most villains, her intentions are good, but how she's going about it is harmful.
Sure.
No more hiding. I'll be shining like I'm born to be. 'Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I
Even when
believe.
the point is that her voice is struggling, it's still better than any of our voices.
She's still so... AJ's so
How am
freaking
I
good.
supposed to fix the world? Fix me when I don't have my voice? Why now when I'm so close? Why?
Not all obvious dialogue is bad.
Whew.
Sometimes it can be right on the nose and super effective.
And that sound design is killer.
It's all of the Honmoon, like, magic-y sounding stuff in this show is just, it's beefy and ethereal at the same time, which is a tough line to walk if you're a sound designer, and the sound team on this show nailed it.
A demon boy band?
So how can I help the world if I don't have my voice? Now, there's a lot of applications for this, the loss of the voice, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to, I want to make a difference, I want to do good in the world, I want to shine, use my talents, all of these things. But I also don't feel like the movie is saying, there's only one through line for this. There's only
It's not
one
allegory, right?
Yeah.
It's not like this equals this. It's applicable. This is a J.R.R. Tolkien thing, by the way. He famously wrote that, Lord of the Rings, what is the ring? It's applicable. It's not allegorical. The ring is not Nazi Germany or nuclear power or, whatever.
Or alcoholism.
Or whatever people were talking about at the time, right? It's a thing you can apply to anything.
I think it's very easy to pull like a queer subtext from this because that's so relatable to so many people who are queer, who've been told you have to hide this. we have to fix it, it'll go away.
But it can speak to if you're neuroatypical. It can speak to like anything that you feel because of society or because of what your parents taught you or because of just things that you have internalized for whatever reason. I shouldn't be this. That's okay.
Hey, have you seen our cinema therapy website?
Boy, I sure have. And it was so easy to build and customize using Squarespace.
We found a template that worked really well as a starting point for us.
From one of the many professionally designed templates that Squarespace has for you to choose from.
And then it was so easy to customize.
With intuitive drag and drop editing.
And awesome visual designs.
As awesome as a day at the bathhouse?
You betcha. Squarespace Domain also makes it easy to find the best site name for your business at one all-inclusive price.
No hidden fees or add-ons required.
And every Squarespace domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools.
Your site will be protected by your own personal Honmoon.
Squarespace SEO tools will help you to get discovered faster than dropping a new soda pop bop.
Wow, say soda pop bop 3 times fast.
I will not.
Okay.
Every website is optimized to be indexed with an auto-generated sitemap, meta descriptions, and more.
So your site will show up more often on search engines.
And reach more of your ideal audience or customer.
So whether you need to build a website for your K-pop band,
or to promote your upcoming tour,
or for your Huntrix V Saja Boys fan forum,
Team Huntrix! Squarespace will work for you and you won't have to spend months building a website.
Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch,
go to squarespace.com/cinematherapy and use code cinematherapy to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Psychosomatically, she's losing her voice because of the stress.
Yeah.
Because of the hiding, because of the fear, because she's keeping secrets from her friends, and because she carries deep shame that she doesn't need to carry. That's the point of the story. But that can affect us physiologically.
And storytelling-wise, that's genius. Her voice is the weapon that she needs to perform the fight that she thinks she needs to fight.
Yeah.
This is what she wants to do. What she needs to do is something else, and we're going to learn what that is.
That's all demons do. Feel our shame, our misery. It's how Gima controls us. Do you not hear him in your ear?
What are you talking about?
You're lucky. I'll never forget the first time I heard him. That was 400 years ago.
So
My family was extremely poor and
It's
miserable.
super obvious, right?
I had a single
Your
possession
demons
to my name,
control
an
you.
old Bipa. So I buzzed the streets.
Right, your inner
It's
demons.
very much on the nose.
I was
And that's
desperate.
not bad.
I was starving.
No.
Then
Well, and there's a reason why demons are used in various philosophies and religions, even psychologically as a metaphor for what we're battling inside, this type of shame and self-loathing that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Even by the king himself. My family and I live in the palace grounds. Our bellies were finally full,
So-
our clothes clean. We were
I
happy
love watching this again when he says "my family and I." You can hear the little hitch in his
until
voice
they consumed
Yeah.
because he's lying.
And I
Yeah.
was condemned
And
to
it's
the demon world.
it's so good.
prisoner of Gima for all eternity. My family lost everything. And without me, they were even worse off than before.
And there's no hitch in his voice when he says that because
Yeah.
he believes that to be true.
You left them behind,
Oh man,
failed them.
These are a constant reminder of my shame.
Jimu sounds a little bit like the villain from Inspector Gadget. What's his claw?
He's halfway between that and Ultron.
That's true.
Korean James Spader, like laying down a sick vocal track for Gima.
Two things that come to mind as I'm watching this. One, the power of shame, the negative power of shame to control when it comes to abusive relationships, codependent relationships, any sort of unhealthy relationship of you're worthless, but I give you worth. Like I feed you, I sustain you, I see you, I accept you, nobody else will. I hold the key to your deliverance, right? In this case, I can erase these painful memories for you, but you have to do my bidding. And all great fantasy stories that play with badass superpowers like deal in emotional truth. And that is the emotional truth of Jinu's experience. Also the fact that, and I've seen this any number of times in therapy, and I've experienced this myself, the halfway confession.
Yeah.
Right? He's confessing something, he's opening up, but he's also like the most shameful to him kernel of it, he's withholding. It's like he wants the benefit of confession and of being vulnerable
Without paying the full price.
without paying the full price. And so in therapy, you'll have people who will tell me like 80% of the story, but that 20% is what has to be faced. It's the darkest corner for them to heal. And that is the power of shame and holding us back. We believe that if someone knows this about me, They will reject me, not want me in their life. And the really hard part is sometimes that's true. Sometimes people aren't ready for whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it's not about whether they reject or accept you. It's about, am I dealing in truth?
Right.
The only way we eviscerate shame, the only way that we liberate and free ourselves from that is by exploring the darkest corners, shining light on them, and saying, I'm going to choose to love this person, which is me, recognize the harm done, and choose to change. That is the only way. And we can't withhold. We have to deal in truth.
I'm going to start getting really emotional in this episode. This was the story of me trying to deal with my addiction.
Yeah.
Is I kept half-assing it, or 3/4 assing it. Not whole.
Not the whole
assing
ass,
it.
though.
Not the whole ass.
You gotta
Took
give-
a long time to get. It's a big ass.
What happened to your friend?
He's been rear-ended.
I would make progress and I would tell more of what was going on and what I believed about myself, but still hold things back, and I was never able to deal. And then I kept wondering, like, why is the addiction still coming for me?
Yeah, why is it not working?
Why is it not working? Why can't I, break this thing? And it's because I wasn't. You've often said the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah.
And I wasn't fully connecting, not just with other people and letting them in. I wasn't fully connecting with myself. I was unwilling to open myself up to the truth that there were things inside me that were not okay.
Yeah.
And I needed to share that with someone, and I needed to work through that instead of just burying it.
Yeah.
And the shame is what kept me addicted.
You can be on this side when the Honmun is sealed. Away from the demon world, away from Gima. You can be free from those voices forever.
What makes you think the Honmun can save a guy like me?
A guy who tried to help his family? You made a mistake, Chinu.
It's not that simple.
But I am a mistake. Have been since the moment I was born. So, I have to believe. Because
This is just great writing.
if there's no hope for you,
Two
what hope is there
characters
for me?
who have the wrong
For your beautiful girlfriend?
mental image of themselves, and they have to help each other
Yeah.
snap out of it.
You can't even show up on time.
Is that healthy relationship dynamics, though?
No.
Here, free one. Go find yourself a better boy. This one's hopeless.
Well, there's your answer. Hopeless.
That's the funny thing about hope. Nobody else gets to decide if you feel it. That choice belongs to you.
Ooh. It's so cool when we are waiting for hope and then we realize, oh, I actually just give that to myself. Just like if we're waiting for love, if we're waiting for safety, to see yourself as, I don't need to wait for the universe to hand it to me or somebody else to provide it for me.
Yeah.
I can choose it. I need to get out of my own way.
Right.
The hard thing for Gino is that he's still not being completely honest because he likes this connection.
Yeah.
It's healing for him. It's soothing for him. It's comforting for him.
And the shame is telling him, if I come completely clean, that all goes away.
That all goes away.
Yeah.
And here's the simple fact. When you deal in truth, you find your people. And this goes back to my accountability kink. I feel like the right people, the people who are emotionally mature, are going to see someone who owns their shit and is working on being better and are going to say, I want that in my life.
Yep.
And the people who aren't ready for that, okay, they're not your people, at least not now. Maybe later.
Yeah. Maybe they'll grow up.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life keeping this secret, this shame of what I am. And the more I hid this shame, the more it grew and grew until it started to destroy the one thing that gave me a purpose, my voice. But since I've met you, and the more I talk to you, I don't understand it, but somehow my voice is healed.
I try to hide, but something broke.
One of the many bangers on the soundtrack.
The words kept.
I wish this CT episode could just be us watching the music and listening and not talking.
Just not talking.
But that's not what our show is.
It's also a giant copyright violation.
Yeah. But what she's singing about, what she's talking about, this is more than just a hot kids meet and and have feelings for each other. Because he carries so much shame, people who carry that much shame go in one of two directions. The first is they judge themselves harshly and therefore they judge others harshly.
Yeah.
The other is they want to be seen, loved, and accepted and not judged for their worst mistakes, and so they give that to others.
Extremely accepting. Yeah.
Right. And he provides that for her.
He's doing a twofer.
Yeah.
He won't allow himself the forgiveness, but he is allowing it for her.
And that's why she feels safe to open up to him, and that's why this is a real relationship.
Can't fix it if we never face it. Let the past be the past till it's weightless.
It's just easy when I'm with you. No one sees me the way you do. I don't trust it, but I want to. I keep coming back to why does it feel right every time I let you in?
Harmonies.
Why does it feel like I can tell you anything? We can't fix it if we never face it. What if we find a way to escape it?
We can't fix it if we never face it.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much your whole job, right?
Right.
Mine too, by the way. My whole job is to get you to feel things.
Yeah.
You gotta face them.
Well, and art is healing. It's the whole point of the show.
Let the past be the past till it's weightless.
This is such a beautiful, like, the metaphor of them drifting up into the light as they're, like, coming clean to each other. Mostly, Gina's still got a little work to do. And it's just beautifully, beautifully shot, rendered, whatever. And then that rotation, the camera rotating around as they change their perspective back to real life, and it fades from that beautiful, sparkly, out of focus, purpley goo of love into the real world again. Absolutely nails the feeling, and it tells the story correctly. And that is a really, really tough thing to do with action movies and musicals, is to have your action sequence and to have your musical set piece further the story, the plot, and build character.
All right, K-pop Demon Hunter fans, we got an extra long, juicy, beefy director's cut on our Patreon.
Beefy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the beef? It's on our Patreon. Go check it out. I love that we live in a world where there's a movie called K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah.
Because I hear that title as an old fuddy-duddy from the 80s, and I'm like, what? What is this?
We gotta talk louder. Okay, our prices have never been lower.
Son, you have to talk louder.
Never been lower.
Louder, son!
Bud Liquor! Our prices have never been lower!
Stop it.
Heat!
Now, something that I said earlier is that this is a real relationship. I want to make an amendment.
Okay.
It has the makings of a real relationship. As you pointed out, Jinu's still holding back.
And so is Rumi, not from Jinu,
yeah,
but in the rest of her life.
Right.
She's not fully open and committed to her friends, which, because of that, she's still not a complete person.
Because Rumi is doing with Mira and Zoe what Jinu's doing with Rumi.
Yeah.
She's not telling the whole truth. She's not showing her whole self out of fear of rejection. But the thing is, to be truly loved, you have to be seen. And to be seen, you have to be honest about who you are.
Yeah.
And both Rumi and Jinu, in different directions, are denying the people that they love the opportunity to truly love them.
Right.
By denying them the opportunity to see and accept them. And as I said earlier, when you take that risk, you face the possibility that that person or those people may not be ready for it, and you may get rejected.
And that's why it's scary.
And that's
you're
why
not
it's scary.
wrong to be scared.
And at the same time, the freedom of living a truth, the freedom of self-acceptance, means that you're no longer burdened with the shame of secrecy.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. Even if you lose people, it's worth it to be genuine and to be authentic. And the people that you may lose, the only way that they will ever possibly come back around and fully accept you is if you deal in truth.
You were a good person and you still are. You just made a mistake.
I left them! That's right.
You see that flash of demon light in his eyes?
Only made a deal with Kima to get myself out of that miserable life. I left my sister, my mother, alone, while I slept on silk sheets in the palace with my belly full every night. I left them. I left them.
But that's not all you are. This is just your demon talking. You have to fight it.
That's not how it works.
Yes, it is.
I love the sound design on.
Is it working? You're a demon, just like me. All we get to do is live with our pain, our misery. That's all we deserve.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that doesn't seem, well.
Well, you said that's all we deserve.
Yeah.
Right? And he's lumping her in with him because she's got demon blood in her, right? And but the fact is, when it comes to deserve, no, she's been decent and acted with integrity.
Yeah, well, and he's been listening to Kima, which is, another really great storytelling feature. If you're so absorbed in your own shame, you start to think the worst about yourself and often project that onto everyone else. So everyone's as broken and damaged and horrible as I am. They're all hiding something.
Right.
And this, again, coming back to trying to deal with my addiction and living in shame, this is what I felt like a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Is that there were some very few good people who deserved to be happy, and the rest of us, especially me, deserved to be miserable. And I could put on a happy face, and for a long, long time I did, and people didn't know.
Yeah.
People didn't know what I was going through. It's so, psychologically true feeling.
Yeah. If you live long enough, you'll hurt someone you care about.
Yeah.
If you live long enough, you will very likely betray your values in some way that you feel ashamed of. If you live long enough, you'll probably do something or say something that you regret deeply and feel the pull of self-loathing and self-hatred. I love the concept of grace, and I'm talking about grace psychologically, not theologically. I'm not talking about it as a spiritual principle as much as a psychological one, but grace is this concept of, it's not about what you deserve. It's about accepting love and accepting good things.
Yeah.
And then returning that to others. I've had people in my office where they don't feel like they deserve happiness.
Right.
Because of the things that they've said and done. And what I keep coming back to is, okay, but so what? How does your misery serve you or the people that you care about or the world around you?
Well, and how does your misery make the people that you hurt feel better?
Yeah, it doesn't. And that's why I'm a big believer. I think shame is categorically harmful. I don't think shame does any good at all.
Right.
I think guilt serves a place of, okay, I need to change something and make amends and make things right. But then when you do that, you leave the guilt behind. I think regret is a healthy thing to live with. I think regret keeps us from going down.
It keeps you from repeating mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the advice that I would give Gino in my office is, dude, it's not about what you deserve. You may be right. You abandoned your family and left them to starve. You may deserve to suffer for forever, but how does that do any good? It doesn't. So allow yourself a modicum of happiness, allow yourself to embrace and accept that there are people who love you, and then instead of hating yourself for being loved, be grateful for it. I don't deserve this gift of grace and love. Okay, I'm going to accept it gratefully, and I'm going to put it out into the world and do as much good as I can from here on out.
But his suffering did give us soda pop.
That's true.
Which is a bop.
My little soda pop.
Everything I was taught told me you were wrong. But I made a promise. So I did my best to accept you and help you.
Accept me? You told me to cover up, to hide.
Yes, until we can fix everything. And we still can. We can cover those up and put everything right again. I'll tell Mira.
Adoptive mom, Celine, just has
an illusion by Kima
a really bad paradigm. She's trying to do the right
No more
thing.
hiding. No more lies.
Rumi?
I think she really cares about Rumi.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to protect you.
Is what I am. Look at me.
But what she needs is, I love and accept you in your totality.
Why couldn't you love me?
I do.
All of me.
Exactly. In Rumi's case, it's the totality of her voice. She doesn't have a whole voice until she is a whole self. And that comes back to self-love, self-acceptance. All of it. All of me. Celine couldn't give it to her, but Rumi can give it to herself.
Yeah.
And if she allows them to, her friends and her pseudo-boyfriend can as well.
And I just love that we're getting to see, Rumi is starting to accept the entirety of herself. Like, this is one of her big steps towards that. And as she accepts all of herself, we get to see more and more. Obviously, her patterns are coming out, but she has the one demon eye with the cat eye kind of iris.
She's a real badass look,
Super
by the way.
cool. And she has the one demon hand now, which is pretty subtle. We just get more and more of that as she begins to accept that being half demon is part of who I am. But what I do is not necessarily determined by what my ancestry is.
Yeah.
And we get to see that right now.
I try to fix it, I try to fight it. My head was twisted, my heart divided. on my side.
So she's singing an apology to her friends.
I broke into a million pieces.
They hear her.
I can't go back, but now I'm seeing all the beauty.
Well, and that's the thing is, Zoe and Mira,
The scars apart.
sure they had demon prejudices because they're demon hunters.
Sure.
But if they knew the story, they would have always been on her side.
Well, and they've known Rumi for years, right? Like,
Cover up the color stuck inside my head.
I should've let the jagged
Oh my gosh, everything about the music in this movie is
so
perfection.
freaking good.
I'll find your harmony.
Listen
And
to that.
I'm about to tear up.
This is what it sounds like.
Stop the song!
Man, that 3-part harmony and the way it's mixed.
Shattering the silence, we're rising, defiant, shouting in the quiet. You're not alone.
I tear up every time. I've watched this song and listened to it probably 20 times now. I tear up every time.
On our own, so we were cowards. So
And the light and everybody else. I mean, to me, that's like giving everyone else permission to do what she's doing, which is be their authentic selves, right? That's the artistic symbolism.
Yep.
Also, what if you were at a concert and they just started
Demons
killing...
popped out, they started killing demons. What a fucking concert! Holy crap! This is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It is so good for all the reasons that we've been discussing. It is so applicable to so many people, and the design is great. The script is great. The choreography in the musical numbers is great. The choreography in the fight scenes is impeccable. It is anime, but it's also traditional Western animation. It is all of these things at once, and it is flawless.
Are you familiar with the concept of kintsugi, the Japanese...
Oh, when you break a pot and then,
Yeah, so here, like, if we break a pot or we break a glass, it's like, well, we sweep it up, we throw it away. That's because it's ruined, right? And in Japan, they fill in the cracks with gold. The belief is that the cracks are part of the history of the piece. That the cracks don't make it broken or damaged or ruined. They add to the beauty. And there's a lyric in one of these songs that talk about the cracks being beautiful. And as she's walking out, and you can see they're patterns in her case, but it's the same concept that this isn't her brokenness. This isn't a flaw. This isn't something that means she deserves to be thrown away unless it's fixed. This is part of her beauty. This is part of who she is. And that's what makes it beautiful. Also, we focused a lot on Rumi and Jinu in this episode. We didn't talk about Zoe and Mira a lot, but these three are fantastic together.
Yeah, that may have to be another episode.
Well, and that's something I love about their dynamic and the portrayal here is that they are powerful and they are fighters and they are warriors and they're also feminine, that you can be both.
they're beyond feminine. They're girly.
They're super girly. Like they lust over abs. You know,
Dude,
they get
the corn eyeballs freaking took me out. As soon as that happened, I was like, I don't care what happens to the rest of this movie. I love it.
Well, that's the thing is all of us have masculine and feminine energy, and all of us can tap into and develop both of those things.
Yeah.
And she got her voice back. And how did she get her voice back? Full and total self-acceptance. She thought the demon side was what was diminishing her voice, but it was suppressing that diminished the voice. And so by fully accepting herself and loving herself, she can stand tall and say, this is me. I mean, that's essentially what the song is, this is me. And when she's not ashamed of who she is, she can still regret her actions, take accountability, and make things right, which she does. That's the incredible thing about eradicating shame. When we step into truth and fully love and accept ourselves, you may think, well, if I love and accept myself, I won't improve myself because I'll just think everything's fine. Self-acceptance is not saying everything is fine.
No.
Self-acceptance is saying, I love me, all of me, and here are the parts of me that I want to improve so they don't hurt me and the people I care about. There are so many habits that I fought for years and years and years, and I could never break them because trying to break them was based on self-loathing. Like these habits, I hated myself because of these habits. And it's only when I looked in the mirror and instead of saying, I hate you, you suck, you're such a loser, you're so pathetic, when I looked in the mirror instead and said, I like that guy. It was easier for me to let go of these bad habits because I'm like, oh, I love this guy. I want to take care of him. And these things aren't helping him. And so this is her stepping into doing exactly that.
So until next time,
Milo soda pop.
You're all I can think of. Every drop I drink up. And
watch movies.
Hey, this episode was also brought to you by Patreon supporters, people on our Patreon. It's Patreon, you get it. People like
Brooklyn Sparks,
1-800-IDK,
Joshua A. Hatton,
Hamza,
Radiophobia Jr.
Our patrons have the best usernames.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Yay!